Joining us now on the Marmy Rock Show, I'm almost at a loss at how to introduce Adam Pearce other than an amazing musician. We were just talking, he's got the Warbirds going on, he's got Mothership going on, some solo stuff. You may remember Adam from NBC's The Voice, or you may know him from Warbirds and his solo stuff. Adam, welcome to the show.
What's up, y'all? Thanks for having me.
So, man, where do we even begin with you? Let's kind of go backwards a little bit, if you don't mind, because people are going to want to know your history a little bit. And reading your bio, you got a little bit of a late start into music, didn't you?
I did. Relatively speaking, I had a late start. I picked up a guitar at 18 years old, which is late,
For someone at your level, yeah.
Your Richie Blackmores and all those guys, they were already incredible guitarists by the time they were 18, and I was learning a G chord, so I always knew, and I knew that. I'm like, you know what, I really, really, really want to be serious about this, and I don't mean that in in a typical kid way, my band's going to make it. I mean, I wanted to be serious about it. I'm like, I'm going to make this my career. It's but I know I'm starting late, so if I ever do make a big break, it's probably going to be later in my career, and I'm okay with that. But, yeah, did start late.
You got kind of an impressive start, and I mentioned I want to kind of take folks through a biography a little bit, and, your band, Black Magnolia, worked with some pretty impressive people, so reflect back on that project and tell folks a little bit about it.
Well, so Black Magnolia was the first, rock band I put together, and we performed in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and we played just all the time, 4 or 5 days a week. And I'm talking about the 3 and 4 hour gigs where we're playing all these covers. So it was quite exhausting. And we played some really big festivals, with Doobie Brothers and Skinner, and we played with, we opened for 12 Stones and Zebra and Louisiana LaRue and Puddle of Mud. I think some of them get kind of Filter, I believe, was in there. A lot of those nights are kind of blurry, but
it's a diverse group, man.
Yeah, but and to be honest with you, the band I'm in now, it's the same thing as Black Magnolia. Honestly, after the whole Voice, which I know I'm kind of jumping ahead, but after the whole Voice thing, I rebranded as Adam Pearce, not because I'm that pompous lead singer that wants the band all to be about him, because I actually hate that. I really, really hate that. I never wanted to be like the Adam Pearce Project or anything like that. But it just made sense after the Voice, that's what the whole nation or the whole world just heard, So yeah. I really needed to capitalize on that branding. So it's just why I just kind of changed it to Adam Pearce and the Warbirds. But to be honest with you, it's the same thing as Black Magnolia. It's a rock band. It's not me playing with 3 dudes just kind of backing me up. It's a rock band,
Now, I'm going to ask you about The Voice in a minute, but one more thing about Black Magnolia. One of my favorite musicians of all time, man, is Randy Jackson. I just got to ask you about working with him and the experience.
Oh, Randy's great. Randy played on my first album. So the very first album I released was underneath Black Magnolia. And Randy plays a guitar solo on one of the tracks. It's called Apocalypse, if you ever want to listen to it, and it's a phenomenal guitar solo. It's better than anything I do on the album, that's for sure.
Now, how'd you get hooked up with Randy? Did you? I mean, I know you're both natives of the same area, but how did you find him?
We had a manager at the time that had also managed and worked with Zebra. And he started working with Black Magnolia, so one of the first things he did was he put us in contact with Randy, and we actually opened for Zebra back in 2009, which I can't believe was already 10 years ago. So that's how we got to know. And then I did a few solo gigs with Randy, and just throughout the years, I've kind of become friends with him, and he's just a great guy. He's awesome,
Still love seeing the dude play solo to this day, man. So, hey, obviously, folks are going to want to know about The Voice, man. Not every day they get to meet somebody who's had that experience. Reflect on the experience a little bit, for folks that just kind of wonder what it was like.
Well, I'll say this. So I know The Voice isn't really geared for rock musicians.
Fair enough.
It's not. Especially as heavy as rock musicians as I am. You might have the Chris Daughtry kind of rock, and I was the Soundgarden, the really heavier stuff. But with that being said, it was a really awesome experience. They were very, very, and what's cool about it is they were okay with that, and they let me be that they let me be a rock and roll person. They didn't try to change me. They weren't like, hey, why don't you wear a fedora? Like, I don't want to wear a fedora, you know? Like, they were great. I have nothing bad to say about them. I really don't. They were awesome. They treated you very well. You hear horror stories about American Idol just being, like, horrendous to people, and you're just a number, and you get there, and they don't really care. The Voice is not like that at all. And I'm not under some kind of contract to say this. I'm really not. There's not like a team of lawyers listening somewhere. Like, I'm really not. Like, I'm completely out. I can say whatever I want about the show. So they're awesome. They're great to you.
What's like the biggest misconception people have about that show, or the experience that you had? Like the most common error people would take away thinking about that.
I would say that probably that the coaches are like jerks or pompous, and they just turn on a smile for the camera, or I guess a little bit like I said, like you're just a number and whatever. It's super corporate and super manufactured, which it is super corporate, but that doesn't mean that they don't really care for you, because they really do care about you, and they really treat you well, and they really want the best for you, even after The Voice. So I was even surprised by that. Like, going on it, I was like, yeah, I get it. I'm going to go on there. I'm going to be a number. Blah, blah. Turn on the cameras, put on a smile. But you know, Adam Levine, like, I guess it might be a topic for later, but like, Adam Levine reached out to me personally after the show and invited me up to sing for the Maroon 5 Halloween party. She wanted someone to sing AC/DC. He's like, dude, you're the best person I could think of to sing AC/DC. So he, like, personally reached out, put us in a hotel room, you know, flew us to LA. So he didn't have to do any of that.
I'm curious, did you pick, Adam's an interesting character to me. I remember Maroon 5, I don't think people, to me anyway, used to be a much heavier band than before they gained a lot of their fame. Did any of that come out from Adam as being like a heavier singer than people might realize he was?
Yeah, I think Adam at heart is a rocker.
I can totally see that, yeah.
He loves it, but he also knows what's paying the bills.
Yep.
Like, he's not stupid, and I get it. You know, I can totally respect that. But yeah, I mean, when we were doing the AC/DC party, he was having more fun. He was blowing off Maroon 5 practices, so we could practice AC/DC. He was like, no, we don't need to do that. But he knows it pays the bills. He's a rock. I mean, he's a rocker at heart. I know he is, you know?
Yeah, we've experienced it early in his career, man. Dude was very talented. Now, hey, tell us a little bit about Mothership. Let folks know what that's all about.
Well, Mothership is kind of a novelty thing we do. It's a Led Zeppelin tribute, and it's from a bunch of musicians that based in New Orleans that all have their own thing going on. And we come together, 4 to 6 times a year, and we play these big, huge blowout Led Zeppelin shows. And it's just the most fun thing freaking ever, because it's 2 or 3 hours of Led Zeppelin. Like, how can you not like that?
Now, I mentioned the many things you're involved in, and it also involves solo acoustic gigs. So tell folks what that experience is like.
Solo acoustic gigs, that's what pays the bills for me right now. And I'm totally okay with that, because it's a blast. I travel all over the South, the southern Louisiana region, Mississippi, and I play these these acoustic gigs, and they're just so much fun. They're so intimate. It's completely different than my full rock band, and I think a lot of bars just pay me to come party with them. To be honest with you, it's like the playing is secondary. They really just want to hang out with me. So we go. I go to these like super backwoods bars. Like tonight, I'm playing in Thibodaux, Louisiana. Do you know where that is?
I do not.
Exactly. I don't even, like, Google doesn't even know some of these places. I'm dead serious. Like, there's some places, like, Google's like, I have no idea. I have to call the bar and get, like, a physical address. but I love it. I honestly love it. Like, it's so cool. Those people I can relate to them, because I'm also from the country. And, anyway, I'm kind of getting off topic, but yeah, I play those 3 to 5 times a week, traveling everywhere until I can kind of get a tour going with my original band. So what's, gosh, you got like kind of your irons in 3 fires here. So like, what's the next big thing for you? Like, what do you see 2019? Is it going to be more focusing on Warbirds? Is it going to be Mothership or your solo stuff, or all 3 still? No, it's definitely going to be focused on my original band and my original project, because the solo stuff and the cover bands, like they're fun, but it's a low ceiling, and I want to be, I want to be as big as I can possibly be. So, I'm working with Paul Crosby. I know you know Paul.
Yeah.
And I just started working with him. Drummer from Saliva, and he's working on setting all that stuff up for me. So 2019, I would love to go on tour. I know I want to make less money. Totally okay, and I'm totally prepared for that. To go play original stuff, that's what I live for. So that's really where I want to focus. That's the biggest shift I've been trying to make in my life since I've released the album at the end of October.
What kind of bands do you see yourself fitting on tour with? Because, you went down your resume and it's like, well, you got Zebra, you got Puddle of Mud, you got 12 Stones. Like, who do you see yourself fitting in with on a big tour?
That's a really hard question because the bands that first of all, I like all classic rock. So, I'm never going to go on tour with, Rush. So, I've actually thought about that because I'd like to think that I've got my own little kind of genre of a classic rock sound coming back. I'm not going to Foo Fighters. That's not realistic. That'd be a great one. Soundgarden's not going to happen anymore. So I don't know. Greta Van Fleet. I would feel weird. These little kids, freaking. These dudes are 12 years old. Maybe them. I like what they're doing. That's kind of cool. I guess.
No shame in that, man. Back in the day, somebody was opening up for Def Leppard when they were 15. So it's all right.
Yeah. I would be stoked if I got invited to do that. But I really don't know. We're playing a big festival. Saliva's playing and Trapped and Tantric, and it's I loved all that stuff growing up. I would love to do that.
Now, is that a Mudfest? Or are you part of Mudfest by any chance?
No, that's the Kanza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because a lot of those are the same bands that are on that Mudfest, so I wasn't quite sure.
I'm not part of Mudfest, but I might look into it.
Yeah.
I love festivals. So.
Well, hey, man, Adam Pearce, I've had a good time talking to you, man. The dude's super talented. Check out all his projects, man. Check out Mothership. Check out the Warbirds. Check out his solo stuff. So with that said, Adam, where's the best place you want people to go to learn more about you and keep up with you?
Well, AdamPearceMusic.com, as always. That's got the links to everything, all my music, all my social media. It's just important to note that my last name is spelled Pearce.
There you go. So that's Adam Pearce, Pearce, and check him out on his socials, man. Lots of good stuff and interesting story. Adam, thank you so much for being here tonight, man. I had a blast talking to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I talked to you most of the time. I feel like I was rambling, but I appreciate it all the same.